All right, we are back with another Prize Picks video. Going to be going over the top plays I have for the NBA today. We got 9 games, so it should be a ton of value on the board. And I go into this very confident most days. I found a bunch of value, and I feel very good with my plays. But today, I'm feeling really, really good about these. It's just one of those days that they're popping off the page for me. And so super excited about the picks today. But if you're new to this channel, definitely go ahead and subscribe. Like the video so more people can see it as well. And then comment down below if you like one of these picks, if you're tailing, if you don't like one of these picks, or if you're just roasting me for last video. Horrible, horrible, horrible. But yeah, want to say that. Let's go over the video picks from last time like I always do, good or bad. And it was one of those days. Definitely a bad day. It was just a frustrating day for me in general. This was some of the Discord picks I gave out. If you want to join the Rich Club in the Discord, definitely hit the link in the description. Check it out. There's a free aspect of it too, where we do the free picks. We have a general chat, and then we also go over a community play where we vote on who we think is going to go off that day, and then I give you guys the best EV slip based on who we pick. And then you get access to all my picks on Underdog and Prize Picks. If you join the Rich Club, though. And I think it has a free trial, so definitely try that. I've been trying to get that set up. I'm not sure, honestly, if it's working or not. Support has not been helpful for me. But just a frustrating day. I really liked Eric Gordon with no KD. He ended up selling for me. Sold this slip. He sold a couple slips for me. This was the NHL. So I told you guys if you were interested in NHL, I'm going to try to, dip my feet, get my feet wet in some NHL, and it's definitely looking solid for me. There's a lot of push potential on these lines. But 4 for 5 on one of my first NHL fully slips. I think we're going to continue doing that for sure. And I already threw one in in the Discord. So if you want to check that out, go for it. And then here's the video picks. Jesus, horrible day. Booker got there for us, but Derek White had 4 assists in the fourth quarter. Couldn't get there in a close game against Cleveland. Klay Thompson, honestly, Klay Thompson, Harrison Barnes, and there was someone else. Someone else that we took on a different slip, I think they combined to shoot 4% from the field or something crazy. It was absolutely ridiculous. Klay Thompson was hard to watch. Harrison Barnes almost pulled a Tony Snell. Almost literally had 0 stats altogether. I don't even know where these 3 came from. I decided to stop looking at him at halftime. Halftime, he had literally 0 points. We call that the Tony Snell because Tony Snell one time played 29 minutes and didn't record a single stat. Absolutely crazy. He's been crushing this line too, so that one sucked. But then... yeah, I would assume who actually did this recently. That's what got my mind on it. But oh my gosh, he might be blacklisted. Harrison Barnes, ridiculous. And then Zubats had an entire quarter to get this as well, but it was a blowout. Sacramento lost by 30, so Zubats didn't even see the fourth quarter, which frustrated me there. But horrible video picks. Definitely a bounce back spot though. And then I ran out a couple more. This was another NHL play that I played, just didn't hit for me. A little 2-man, and then Eric Gordon sold my other Binnington play here. But yeah, those are prize pick plays. I don't always go over all of them, but frustrating day for me, definitely. Oh, geez, I just showed you all the picks. All right, whatever. I guess these are all the picks. If you want to jot them in now, I am going to go into the analysis, so we'll see if this hurts my retention. I think the analysis is the best part of this video, so you can just follow people blindly, but I want to know why you're taking them. So let's go chronologically here. I guess we're just going to go off here. But Isaiah Stewart is going to be the first one here. Going to go to that Sixers and Philadelphia game. All right, so jumping over to the board, I actually just saw this pop up literally 5 minutes ago. Looks like PrizePicks added a tab here, the popular tab. So this is interesting. You can see the most popular plays. I assume these are all overs. But yeah, looking at these, you can see, okay, Sengun assists. He's been a popular play all year. Gordon Hayward, been crushing his line, especially with no LaMelo Ball, D'Anthony Melton. So this is interesting. I haven't looked too much into this, but this could be, a fun idea like that. You can see how many plays they've had. That's sick. But yeah, let's jump into the board, kind of attack some value. Kind of a longer intro, but want to, go over some things. But let's jump into it chronologically like always. We're going to start with Beef Stew. We went to him the other day on his fantasy score line at 25.0. His fantasy score is at 22.5 now. Tougher matchup, I guess, in general, blowout potential against Philadelphia. I think this is a solid spot for him. Again, no Bagley. And no, Jalen Duren is huge. Isaiah Stewart's going to be playing that center spot. The only thing that scares me here is, I guess, blowout potential, but also the fact that Embiid, likes to foul bait. But I'm still going to go to his 10.5 points and assist line. Going over here. Let's go over to Outlier and kind of check out what he's been doing so far this year. If you want to check out Outlier, guys, it's a free 7-day trial. Just hit my link in the description. Let them know I sent you there. And literally, you just sign up. 7-day free trial. It's awesome. If you don't like it, obviously go ahead and cancel. But I think you're going to see that it's very, very useful. So right here, I'm going for Isaiah Stewart over 10.5 rebounds, points and assists. And you can see in 2023, he's crushed this line 65% of the time, gone over this. And that's 15 to 23 games. If you are interested, his points line in general is 70%, 16 to 23 games. But the biggest thing here, again, we talked about it, is no Jalen Duren and no Marvin Bagley. So without Jalen Duren, he's gone over in 6 and 9 games, so 67% hit rate on this. So love to see that there. And then if you extend this into Bagley, I don't think Bagley's missed much time. It's just going to be that one game, and he crushed that against Indiana. But again, the matchup is Philadelphia, so could be a little scared there. But his past 2 matchups, including this year, he has got this line. And this was not a blowout here the last time they played earlier in November, so like about a month ago. And then crushed him last year. I don't know if Embiid played this game, but these are the past 2 matchups. Obviously, Isaiah Stewart's been young. He's young, so I don't really count these earlier games. But that's solid to see. Looks like he plays okay against Embiid. So yeah, I'm really liking this one. Crazy hit rate. But let's see what the odds have to say. Kind of why I'm attacking this line, and yeah, see what they have to do. Isaiah Stewart, gonna pull up him. And also, if you're interested in this tool, OddsJam is awesome. It's so powerful. I use it in multiple different ways. I finally moved to a place where I can bet on sports books, not just pick'em sites. So I use this positive EV tool as well. ESPN Bet and FanDuel have been awesome for me the past few days. Just simply using this positive EV tool that shows discrepancies in lines and where you're getting value. And the Fantasy Optimizer is awesome too. It lets you be able to see just like any PrizePicks line on there, any underdog line, any of these different websites that you use or pick'em sites, and lets you show the value in like for instance, we're getting -119 value on individual plays on 6-man entries. Also 5-man entries is -119. So we have to beat -119 value. That's not that bad to beat, and we can see that okay, we're getting this 10.5 rebounds and assists line, or points and rebound. I keep saying rebounds, points and assist line for Isaiah Stewart. That's his best line, 53.03% chance to hit, and that's because DraftKings over here has got this at -130. BetMGM -130. Caesars up to -133. Flip's already got this at -145. So other sportsbooks are highly favoring this, and PrizePicks only has this at a -119 fixed value on 5- and 6-man plays. So that's where the value comes in for this tool. Very, very, very much recommend, and hit my link in the description. Another 7-day free trial, so you could honestly get these together, and I use them in unison every single day. So check them out. And yeah, so really, really liking that. And then RotoWire is the last partner on the day. I know I talk about these every single day. It's just because I use them and they're so useful in their own ways. But let's go to Isaiah Stewart. You can go to this website for free right now. They're in kind of beta, so definitely utilize the RotoWire PrizePicks tool. Use my link in the description again. Once it becomes a paid for tool, you can hit my link for a 2-day free trial as well. So Isaiah Stewart, that line for him is the predictions leaning the most to the more 10.5, and we can see that the sports books are favoring that. Other pick'em sites maybe don't have them up just yet, and then RotoWire really, really favoring honestly all of his lines. But we can see the hit rate as well. Maybe if you want to just go to his rebounds at 7.0, that's not a bad idea. I just don't love it against Embiid. That's my only thing. That's why I'm kind of going to points assists as well also. And we can see RotoWire is projecting a 13.53 on this 10.5 line. So love it, love it, love it. All across the board, all 3 of my tools are saying the same thing. So loving this Isaiah Stewart line. All right, I'll be a little quicker on the next few. Kind of had to just get the plugs in there. But yeah, really, really recommend those. Staying in the same game here. This one's awesome. Let's go to Tobias Harris. Going to go to 5.0 rebounds. Would not be surprised at all if this gets bumped to 5.5. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if any of these lines get bumped. They typically do when I get videos out. But let's go to Tobias Harris. Now he's going up against the Detroit Pistons that haven't given up a ton of rebounds just yet so far this year. All right, rebounds right here. And we see it's a +106 to go over 5.5. But remember, we got it at 5.0. So we're really just looking at that over 4.5 line, which is -205 to go over. Absolutely ridiculous. 7 to 10 games, he's at least hit this 5.0 line. And then in 2023 as a whole, he's gone over this, or sorry, at least hit 5.0 in 18 of 22 games. And then you're saying, okay, the matchup's not amazing. Maybe that's why. Honestly, they don't have Jalen Duren or Marvin Bagley. So that, especially Jalen Duren, that's going to hurt their rebounding a lot. It's like, obviously, Isaiah Stewart's going to come in, but he's he's like 6'9", 6'10". He's not the biggest, maybe even 6'8", not the biggest center. He's usually playing power forward. So this rebounds, without Duren on the court, I'm sure is a lot worse. So it should be a lot of opportunity for Harris to go grab some boards. And yeah, just looking at this, I mean, this is crazy that we're getting it 5.0, and really, really liking this spot for him. But let's go, or I guess we can go to head-to-head. Got to go into that. It looks like they played each other once this year, and he got 5, so that'd be a push for us. But again, I hope he gets a little bit more. This is probably with Duran back in November, so I think he could get there for us. And then let's go to Tobias Harris on Odds Jam. Tobias Harris. Go ahead and apply that. And looks like we're getting a few different lines popping up. His under PRA, interesting. These are just the odds. Looks like, honestly, there's no crazy one for him, like a 53, 54% chance to hit. Those are the ones you typically try to attack. But at 5.0 on the rebounds, they are slightly favoring this. And that's because every other place has got this at 5.5. So I really like this spot for him. Again, push potential. If you're scared of that, maybe don't go for this one. But let me show you on RotoWire kind of what they're projecting. And again, when they're all in unison, so even if it's slightly in unison, I'm still going to go ahead and attack that. So Tobias Harris. And we see that 5.0 rebounds line is that number one in terms of prediction lean. And we got RotoWire projecting 6.37. That's honestly what I'm probably projecting. If you get 6, that's what we're looking for, and that's what I'm shooting for. 74% hit rate, like we saw on Outlier. Sportsbooks are also favoring this slightly. And yeah, really, really good spot for Tobias Harris. Yeah, as long as it's not a ridiculous blowout like it hasn't been, it wasn't last time. So keeping it close, those lines, should be really solid for us. But moving along off this game, kind of a little stacking opportunity. They're going to be, going up against each other. So if you want to watch that game, go for it. But let's move on to Gordon Hayward. It's going to be our next play. Again, we're going chronologically here. And we kind of saw his points line. It actually just got bumped, probably because of that little fire emoji thing on the popular page. But we're going to be going to his 29.5 fantasy score. Unfortunately, Outlier and OddsJam don't have fantasy score just yet. I bet they're integrating it very soon, though. But let's look at his PRA, kind of just see what he's been doing so far this year. And the biggest news on this one is there's no LaMelo Ball. So Hayward and pretty much everyone on that Hornets team gets a big boost when LaMelo's off the court. Makes a lot of sense. He takes up a lot of usage. But let's go to his over PRA. 2023, and he's gone over this in 11 to 20 games, so pretty solid right off the bat. Again, this is a fantasy score, so hoping he gets a few blocks, few steals in there as well. Could grab 1 or 2 in there, and then yeah, so solid matchup here against Miami. He's played these guys a couple times in the past, and once this year. Just recently, these guys are back-to-back matchup here. They played the 11th, it's the 13th now, so they're playing each other again. We just saw him drop 17, 6, and 7. So I expect him to hopefully do that again. Miami's not like this crazy team. This is the 7.5-point spread. That's why I mentioned that earlier. But, no Tyler Hero for the Miami Heat. No Bam Adebayo for the Heat. So they're both kind of banged up. The Heat are definitely the favorites here, but I could see the Hornets coming in and keeping this one close for sure, at least. And then we want to see without LaMelo Ball. Let's go ahead and find that. That's the biggest key here. Obviously, the one matchup they had was the other day. We already saw that. But in 2023, he's gone over this in 4 of 6 games without LaMelo. He's gone pretty much way over this. And again, we're looking at fantasy scores. So if he's crushing his PRA, he's going to be crushing his fantasy score. These are all over the fantasy score just in general. So he'd be crushing that line. But let's go to Fantasy Optimizer. Is not going to be working for us just because there's no fantasy score integration just yet. But let's go to Gordon Hayward. His fantasy score, number one thing right up here, prediction lean is the over. Pick'em sites and sportsbooks don't have them just up yet, or other pick'em sites. Looks like PrizePicks is the only one with it up yet. But RotoWire, very good lean here, and hit rate's also showing up. 32.74 is the prediction on a 29.5 line. So loving to see that. Hit rate's been very solid as well. So great matchup for him. You just saw these guys. He could pick it up. He's got, in terms of like going up against the defense, it's a solid defense overall, but again, no Bam, no Tyler Hero. Bam's the bigger aspect in that one. But to small forwards and shooting guards, it's a little bit better of a matchup. I take this with a grain of salt, but it is good to see another green data point leaning our way. So that's going to be our third pick. Moving along here, let's get our next guy in here, which is going to be Jimmy Butler. So on the other side of the court here, we got 2 games with 2 players in them. So you can definitely keep your eye on these 2. We're going to go to his 5.5 rebounds. I'm just going to go under here. Just sticking with the odds, sticking with the value on the plays. That line seems low to me, just because Butler hasn't been rebounding at all this year. Let's go to 5.5. We do see a positive EV tag on this as well. We talked about the spread. Hopefully the Charlotte Hornets can keep it close. Minus 152 DVIG odds, so really, really liking to see that. That means like the true odds of this hitting is very, very solid. And he's gone under in 9 of the last 10 games. Just that outlier where he had 11 against Indiana. So in 2023 as a whole, looking really solid as well. 14 of 19 games he's gone under this. And again, he has these 2 explosions, and then other than that, it's pretty much been consistently under. And without Bam, you might be saying, oh, Bam's not there. He's going to be going out and grabbing boards. Without Bam and Tyler Hero, honestly, I can do that in a second. But without Bam, under in 6 straight games. So very, very good data point to see there. Obviously, the Charlotte Hornets might give up a lot of rebounds, typically a lot of misses in these games. But we saw him, head-to-head, didn't get there last game, only had 4. And then without Bam, it's looking really good. So really, really liking this Jimmy Butler line, and the odds are favoring it as well. Let's go into OddsJam, check this one out. Jimmy Butler. Go ahead and apply that. And looks like that rebounds line is his top line, 52.42% chance to hit. Again, individual odds we're getting it at minus 119. Other sportsbooks got this at minus 124. Pinnacle, one of the sharpest sportsbooks out there, minus 151. So absolutely love to see that when Pinnacle's on it that heavily. So yeah. All right, moving along. Let's go get our guy, Buddy Hield. Going to be going to his 7.5 rebounds and assists, going under here as well. He kind of had an outlier game against these guys recently, but I don't think that one's going to hurt us. Let's go to Hield real quick. Go ahead and check him out. We do see that line is popping up for him. 73% of the time he's gone under this, 16 to 22 games, and it really hasn't been close on a lot of these games. And the ones he's gone over, he's either just gone over or he's absolutely crushed it. So those, 6 games that he has gone over, one unfortunately was against Milwaukee, who they're going up against again today. He crushed that line. So that's the only thing that's kind of scaring me on this one. Everything else looks really, really good. The odds are minus 135 is awesome to see on PrizePicks. And again, the head-to-head, do want to show you guys, the good and the bad. They did play once this year, or they played twice this year, so that's good to see. So crushed it and then went way under. So very, very middle of the road here, but he's been under very consistently all year. 73% is pretty wild online. So let's go to Buddy Hield. No injury, no injury news on this game, I don't believe. So nothing, crazy in terms of that is why Buddy Hield's getting a bump here. But loving to see it. Or 53.79% chance to hit, so love to see that. We're getting it at minus 119. FanDuel's already got this at 6.5. Caesars got this at minus 142. We can see everyone's favoring this line to go under. And again, wouldn't be surprised at all if this one ends up getting bumped down to 7.0 or even 6.5. But let's go to RotoWire, kind of check out what they're saying about this line. And let's go to, we got Buddy Hield. Fantasy score looking like they're, projecting a little bit higher. But on that 7.5 rebounds and assists line, we do see the under being favored. Hit rate's been solid on the under as well. Another one where RotoWire projections is a little bit higher than what they're expecting. But again, we saw the data, and it's not like this one's crazily favored to go over. So Buddy Hield's going to be our 5th play. And then moving along, let's go find OG and Anunoby. There we go. And I'm going to go to his 1.5 turnovers, and I'm going over here. Let's go check him out, see what other sports books are saying on Anunoby, or I guess what he's been doing so far this year. His over 1.5 has hit in 63% of the games, 12 and 19, so love to see that. Minus 135 odds, it's a plus 105 on the under, so again, love to see that. Turnovers allowed to Atlanta, another good matchup here, 26th ranked, so Atlanta forces a lot of turnovers. And the head-to-head here, they have not played each other this year, but the last 2 matchups he had 5 and 3, so just another good data point on top of all this. Let's go into the Fantasy Optimizer, see what other sports books are saying about this line. Go get OG and Anunoby, go ahead and apply. And we do see that turnovers line is his number 1 line, 53.5% chance to hit. Again, we're getting minus 119 value. Other sportsbooks are pretty much around 135. Flip's got this at minus 150, so definitely everyone favoring the over on this one. We saw what he's been doing so far this year, but do want to see the other data points if RotoWire is not projecting this, but looks like they are. 1.5 is the biggest lean on the over. The biggest lean on the over. RotoWire is projecting 1.91, so we just need 2. That's good to see, and again, we saw the hit rate on outlier. So those are the 6 plays. I always try to give you guys as much value. When I was going through these, if you didn't like some of the things you saw, I saw RotoWire didn't love this Jimmy Butler line, but Outlier and the Fantasy Optimizer were really favoring that the under. If you don't like one of these plays, don't play. You don't have to tail me specifically and blindly. Just watch the videos, see the analysis on top of the plays, and then make your decision on that. Let's go over them real quick. If you just jump to the end of the video, Isaiah Stewart over 10.5 points and assists. Tobias Harris over 5.0 rebounds. Gordon Hayward over 29.5 fantasy score. Jimmy Butler under 5.5 rebounds. Buddy Hield under 7.5 rebounds and assists. And then OG and Anunoby over 1.5 turnovers. So that will do it. Those are the 6 plays. Definitely hit all the links in my description, guys. The Discord is up. It's free to join. If you want to join the Rich Club and get access to all my slips, you can go ahead and do that as well. I do underdog slips as well. Another frustrating day for me on underdog is another one. Here's this one, really got me. I did a 2-unit play, which I very rarely do, and Jokic got ejected in the second quarter, and he had 9 rebounds already. So this one sucked. A couple pushes for me as well. But if you want access to all my slips on underdog and PrizePicks, definitely check out the Rich Club. There should be a free trial on that. And then any of the tools, guys, Outlier has been amazing. Check them out. Free 7-day free trial. OddsJam, free 7-day free trial. I would, suggest doing them in unison, so you got both of those tools to try out at the same time. And then RotoWire is completely free right now. That link's in the description as well. Go check out RotoWire, guys. That will be a paid-for subscription at some point, but you can use my link for 2 days free trial once that does happen. But yeah, that's going to do it, guys. 9 games should be a lot of value to attack throughout the day. Let's make some money tonight, and peace out.